Hello, everyone. According to the article, When Abuse Happens Again, Women's Reasons for Not Reporting New Incidents of Intimate Partner Abuse to Law Enforcement, 2013, research has made tremendous strides in the past 4 decades in recognizing intimate partner abuse, or IPA, as a serious public health issue. One each year, approximately 5.3 million incidents of IPA are perpetrated against adult women in the United States, causing 2.0 million injuries, with 550,000 of those necessitating medical treatment, as of the National Center for Injury Prevention and Control, 2003. Lifetime estimates among a sample of victims within a healthcare setting were reported to be 34% for physical assault and 44% for psychological abuse. Thompson et al., 2007. In 2008, males murdered an estimated 1,817 females in single victim, single offender incidents. Violence Policy Center, 2010. Although young adults 18 to 24 years old made up 11.7% of the general population between 1998 and 2002, they made up 42% of partner violence victimizations. The cost of IPA extends beyond $5.8 billion yearly, two-thirds of which is specific to direct medical and mental health care. The National Center for Injury Prevention and Control, 2003. As you can see my source there. Summary of this report, the article's main idea started with the fact that many women who initially trusted law enforcement and outreach programs and made reports of their domestic violence did not return to law enforcement for help a second time, or a third time, or fourth time, or however many times it took for them to be jaded by their experiences. The researchers set out to determine why this was the case. They used qualitative study methods of document reviewing and interviews with surveys to conduct their research. They reviewed cases sent to them from police records and domestic violence cases to select 236 participants to interview. They then interviewed these women 3 times over the period of 1 year. Of the original 236 women initially interviewed, only 205 returned for their follow-up interview. At the second interview, those that reported an incident of domestic abuse since their last interview were asked follow-up questions about contacting law enforcement. The same was done at the third interview. The results were troubling for me as I did not expect them. They found that many of those that initially did make reports were dissatisfied with the criminal legal system, felt that it was not serious enough, or concerned that she would not be taken seriously. And they were concerned about potential negative consequences for her or the children involved. They had a love of or a desire to protect the offender, or they had a significant fear of the offender. There are multiple subcategories under these, but the main categories will suffice for the understanding of this research. This is a chart based on the chart that was given in the report. And as you can see, the categories on the left are what we discussed in the last slide. And this percentage was different. The first category said they did not report abuse because of being dissatisfied with the criminal legal system. The first time around, that's 47% of domestic abuse victims. Second category felt that it was not serious enough, or were concerned they would not be taken seriously. Again, that's 39%. That's a massive amount of people. The third option is did not report because of potential negative consequences for themselves and or the children, which is a whopping 23%. The fourth category is did not report the abuse to the police because of their love or desire to protect the offender, which is 22%. And the last category said that they were afraid of the offender and therefore did not report the abuse to the police for fear of repercussions. That's a whole 8%. Now, you will notice this chart does not add up to 100%, and that is because the interviewees were allowed to give multiple reasons as to why they chose not to report the second time around, or the third time, or however many times. Again, that comes from Gover, Welton, Mitchell, Belknap, and DePrince of 2013. The similarities between their report and mine are it studies why victims do not report domestic abuse. It uses document revision along with interviews, as I would. The difference is it studies why victims do not report domestic abuse after reporting prior to this. They were more focused on why people did not report again, whereas I am more focused on why people aren't reporting in the first place. Second point of difference is that this research focuses solely on female victims, whereas my research would encompass all victims of domestic abuse, male, female, and children. Because, as I'm sure you well know, most people don't really think about the male being the victim when it comes to domestic abuse. What I learned from this research: we as law enforcement are woefully failing our communities in a big way. These people who we are supposed to protect are being ridiculed, disbelieved, accused, and let down. People are unable to feel safe in their homes because of our shortcomings, and that is not okay. And this is my reference, as we discussed before. When abuse happens again, women's reasons for not reporting new incidents of intimate partner abuse to law enforcement comes from the journal Women in Criminal Justice, and you can find it at this website here. Thank you.